the President of the Republic of Ghana, Your Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the Ministers of State, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, fellow CEOs, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, last time I was here, my presentation was done by an AI avatar of mine, and I've had no end to it. These days, when you see me, you call me AI man. So today, I decided to come physical, because we live both in the physical world and a digital world. And digital identity without a physical identity is not effective, because human beings are physical, and then they are increasingly digital. Our digital world is increasingly driven by data, and data is relevant only because it's connected to digital identity. And the speed at which trust can be established in this new digital environment is what matters in transactions. In this case, identity is not just your Ghana card or your Ghana card number. It is the foundation for effective governance, business efficiency, and economic expansion and empowerment. In this digital age, data is a new currency, and trust is the foundation in this new reality. Digital identity is no longer a technical concept, but a strategic national imperative. The ability to verify who someone is instantly, securely, and digitally is now fundamental to how we do business, deliver public services, and drive inclusion. From opening bank accounts to accessing healthcare, from cross-border trade to e-commerce, digital identity unlocks opportunities. It enables faster transactions, safer interactions, and more inclusive growth. It brings the informal to the formal. It gives every citizen a voice, every business a customer, and every country a chance to leapfrog into the future. In short, digital identity is not just about identification, it is about empowerment, economic acceleration, and trust at global scale. As leaders in business and government, it is our responsibility to ensure that trust is built, protected, and made universally accessible. This must be done with the right legal and digital access control that ensures that the right people present the right certified credentials. They must be able to receive information they are legally entitled to in real time by biometrically verifying in person or remotely to confirm that they are who they claim they are on the national identification system. Without a reliable and secure identity system, governments cannot plan effectively, nor can business serve their markets efficiently. Identity is the foundation upon which systems of accountability, inclusion, and opportunity are built. Mr. President, history has shown us that transformational change occurs when the fundamental drivers of production shift. In the agricultural revolution, the change in agricultural and farm practices is what built empires and kings and peasants. Now, move forward to the energy age where coal and steam engines were introduced. That changed the landscape and the basis of our social, political, and economic organization underwent a drastic revolution known as the Industrial Revolution. And people lost wealth, countries lost their lead, and individuals went from rich to poor. In the third Industrial Revolution, the information computer technology revolution, the whole world economic system was shifted, and we didn't benefit because we were consumers in that revolution and not creators. Now, the fourth industrial revolution is not just about digitization or digitalization. It is about intelligent systems integrated into every fabric of life. It is defined by the convergence of technologies, artificial intelligence, big data, the Internet of Things, cloud computing, blockchain, and quantum computing, all connected together through the internet. These interconnected systems are leveraged by one vital asset: accurate, secure, and trusted data. The speed and scale of this transformation is unprecedented. Businesses that once took decades to scale now expand globally quickly. Public services that once required buildings, staff, and paperwork are now delivered through mobile and digital devices on portals. We are entering the age of the thinking machines that learn, analyze, and make decisions independently. The more accurate the data these systems are trained on, the more efficient and effective they become. With quantum computing and AI accelerating at exponential rates, problems that would take human experts centuries to solve are now resolved in minutes. And this intelligence feeds on one critical input: trusted digital identities connected to data. Data in this new age is the new gold, and we've heard this several times this morning. But raw data without the identity source is just noise. Data must be linked to real people, places, and things in ways that are secure, verifiable, and privacy respected. We are human beings living in a physical world, yes, but we increasingly operate in the digital world. And in this new world, verifiable identity is the passport for effective participation. Here in Ghana, Mr. President, you have charged us to build a 24-hour economy and create jobs for the teeming unemployed. To realize this vision, every citizen must have a trusted legal, physical, and digital identity that operates in the physical and digital worlds. We must be able to confirm who a person is, whether in person or online, with speed, certainty, and security. Without such a system, we are vulnerable. Vulnerable to fraud, to impersonation, to corruption, and to lost opportunities. To ensure rights and responsibilities are protected, contracts are enforceable, and services are delivered to the right people, we must invest in identity systems that work everywhere for everyone 24/7. This is the future. A digital world powered by identity, a world where not only people, but also devices and systems are tagged with unique identifiers, trusted and verifiable in real time. Trust delivered at digital speed is the currency of this new economy. And Ghana is ready. In this new physical and digital world, identity is not just a card or a number. The Ghana card and national ID system is a multi-factor, multi-purpose, physical, electronic, and digital identity system that can establish identity physically. Because in areas where you're off-grid, when you use your Ghana card, it's just like using your money. It must have the security features of money so you can identify that the person is who they claim when you're off-grid. But when you're on-grid, you should be able to do that online. Where the card is not present, you left your card at home, you should be able to identify yourself. And where the card is present, you must be able to do that. The national ID system of Ghana is able to do what most ID systems in the world cannot do in any of these circumstances. It's the trusted foundation for aggregating data that is tied to verifiable and trusted identities. It's efficient data analysis and effective data-driven decision-making is the foundation for economic transformation and empowerment. Without such a system, governments cannot plan efficiently to deliver services effectively to their citizens. Businesses can serve their markets better, more efficiently and effectively today, and even more in the future because of the fundamental national database that includes today 98% of the adult population. So what does this give us? A national ID system gives us two possibilities. One is in e-government services and the one in e-commerce services. So let me take a few examples of the impact of this. An e-government service platform connected to a trust foundational database, the national ID database, that covers all data fields that public services and private services use. That has all the biometrics, has digital certificates that allows you to log into many portals safely and securely and identify yourself, allows governments to deliver services to citizens without any human interface. Now, Mr. President, 24 hours, citizens can access whatever service they want because they can prove that they are who they claim they are. They can make payments, they can receive deliveries. And one of these examples is today's DVLA, for instance. In the DVLA system in the past, you had Guru boys. So, President, I could be you with a driver's license in the north because nobody can show that the link between my ID and what I'm presenting. Today at DVLA, when you go to the DVLA portals, you can put in your national ID, you can do a biometric verification, and within 300 milliseconds, your data is in the DVLA database, which means that if you buy a vehicle, it will be your vehicle and nobody else's vehicle. Your driving license will be connected to your real ID because you can do the same remotely, or you can do it in person. We can forecast the revenue of DVLA because we scanned all the data since 1972 into the DVLA database, and it's connected to these identities. So we can tell how much money DVLA is going to make over the next 10 years. And when you are stopped with your driving license or without your driving license, you can be identified as the owner of the car. We can know whether your driving license has expired. We can know whether your insurance has expired. And we can certainly know whether the car you're driving is yours. So this government service that was laborious and filled with fraud is now digitized, and that's what it gives us. People talk about the resulting data that DVLA, for instance, generates. But underlying all that data, we must understand that the foundation is the digital identity that makes the data accurate and useful, both in deployment of government services and private services. Today, we can also look at healthcare, the National Health Insurance Authority, which sits on the board of NHIA. Because we have 98% of the adult population registered, and we have National Health Insurance Authority and NIA, as we speak, launching a program to register children in school between 6 to 15. And we have babies being born now being given national ID numbers at birth. It means that our health system will be universal. The National Health Insurance System can tell the gap between what the National ID system is telling them has data, and what's the gap between those who are not on it, in order to now plan more accurately for it. People making claims at hospitals is no longer going to be beset with fraud, because your claim is going to be attached to a verification that you've done in the hospital, which is connected to your consultation and then to the drugs that you're taking at the pharmacy. So paying claims can be digitized, fraud can be eliminated, the human factor can be removed, and healthcare can be truly effective, given the advance of e-health services, access to e-consultation, access to your records in the cloud, which doctors can credential to, and in times of emergency, and know what blood type you are because they are doctors and they have the access and credentials to do so. People found in accidents that plug our mortuaries, whose relatives cannot be found, cannot be tracked, because with your Ghana card or without your Ghana card, just your fingerprints is going to tell us who you are, where you're from, and what family we should contact in terms of emergency. It gives us a whole plethora of tools to organize our data so that planning, budgeting, policy, and implementation of policy can be efficient and effective. Today, your bank account can be opened on the fly. By putting your national ID card onto a bank portal and verifying with your face, you can have an account instantly. And Mr. Governor, by connecting all bank transactions to the verification code of NIA, you can monitor all transactions in order to be able to make more effective. And that's the next wave of things that I hope is going to happen. Crime fighting is made easier because the police, immigration, and national security have now the ability to create locally, not to have any foreign person do for them, search list instantly. So if you stole here right now, they can put you on the search list. So even if you are paired at Elubo and they identify, they will know that you stole something from here. And this is built locally. Our borders will be safe because we have all the Ghanaians that live here in that database. We have all the foreigners that live here in that database. So finding Aisha Huang will not be very difficult, Mr. President. Because when it turns up at the border, a simple fingerprint identification will show that he's wanted by you for Galamsey. So digital identity is the future. I have a very long written speech, but let me skip that. And let me come to the conclusion of what I want to communicate to you, Mr. President. That this national ID system is the gold standard in the world and is recognized by many as also the most successful public-private partnership between government and private sector to deliver a public good sustainably. Since 2012, we've been on this PPP. We're in 2025. And the one for nationals since 2017, we've been on that. And it's still running. And the fact that the private sector uses it means that it's efficient. I think that there's something to learn about the allocation of risk between public and private in order to ensure that public services are not just delivered, but are delivered efficiently and sustainably at scale. Mr. President, I know that you're passionate students of history, as I am, and we both know that Africa missed the first three industrial revolutions, as I said, through short-sightedness and sometimes outright foolishness, and perhaps bad luck. But these fourth and fifth industrial revolutions, we need to wake up. We cannot just be consumers of this technology. We must be creators of that technology. We cannot outsource our future. We must design and build it right here in Ghana and Africa. Yes, we will collaborate in a globalized world with enlightened countries and companies, but not solely on their terms, but in our own enlightened self-interest and the service of our generations yet to be born. We cannot build a modern economy without a modern identity system. Digital identity is not a luxury. It is a national necessity. It enables effective governance, drives entrepreneurship, protects the vulnerable, and lays the foundation for a fair, inclusive, and prosperous Ghana. We should own our infrastructure, our data, control our intellectual property, and apply our God-given intelligence and capacity to shape our destiny. The Ghana card and national ID systems have laid the cornerstone of a modern, inclusive, and competitive economy. It is not just a card, it is the infrastructure of trust, the gateway to inclusion, and the engine of economic transformation into the future. We have the opportunity to lead, to innovate, and to build a Ghana that is not only digitally enabled, but digitally sovereign. Let us not be passive participants in this digital age. We must be bold creators of our own destiny. The future belongs to those who build it, and we must build it right here and right now. Ghana is ready. I thank you for your attention.